Hey guys, and welcome to what is episode 6 of Western Movement. And I just want to say, first of all, thank you to all you guys who are tuning in and listening to the show. I hope that you're able to get something out of it. And, if you got any topics, as per usual, we answer some questions on our DM on Instagram. And you can always reach out on Facebook too. But whatever you guys want to hear or need to hear, that's what we're here for. We got you. And episodes with TJ are coming back soon. And we're lining up some really awesome guests, so stay tuned for that. But for today, it's just me kind of hitting on a hot topic like I did last week. Seemed to be that people like that episode and that there's good feedback on it, so usually when it's just me on the show, I'm gonna keep it to that 20-minute max, so I don't think I can listen to myself talk for that long. So today is kind of the same as last week, but I'm going to emphasize just another thing that I've been seeing recently in, camps and tournaments and in different situations. And of course, I've seen it through playing. But that is an athlete's response to coaching, but also that perseverance mentality when it comes to maybe hearing not necessarily what you want to hear, or you're hearing something in the heat of the moment and it's not, again, what you wanted to hear, or maybe it wasn't delivered very well. It's not always on you just to hear it right, but sometimes that adjustment needs to be made from the player, the coach, or the parent to deliver the message better. But we don't always get to choose that, but we can always choose how we respond to everything that is thrown our direction. So today the emphasis is on responding instead of reacting in situations. And also, I have wrote down so I don't go all over the place. But being able to draw out the emotion of situations and just execute. So execution over emotion. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, I need like 3-word sentences and super simple sayings and phrases when it comes to remembering anything. So when I talk about a topic, that's what I'm going to try to break it down to. Last week, we had aspirations and intentions, a simple, your aspirations equal their aspirations for you, and so on. I'm not going to lecture on that because if you listen to the episode, you wanted to hear about it. If you don't, I'm not going to make you hear about it here too. But today, first of all, I just want to address this goes for, we have athletes, or you have athletes, or you are the athlete, where you feel like you respond really well about 99% of the time, and then it's that 1% of the time where you're like, wait, what did you just say? Or that doesn't make any sense, or why the heck did you say that to me when that wasn't the case, or coach saw something wrong, or these situations are just super frustrating. Or maybe you're in your own head, and then perfectly timed someone says something to you and you're like, just don't even, and you kind of lose your head for a second. And like, I am very guilty of that. I was a lot worse about it in high school and in my beginning of my college career than I am now about it, because I learned. But it's very easy in situations to lose our heads and get very emotional about a situation, and then before you know, you're not even thinking about the game. You're thinking about who knows what, but it's not on executing. And also, it's like, we need to learn how to respond to situations instead of just reacting on our emotions. So those are almost the same kind of sayings, but they are a little bit different. So first of all, I want to go into learning to respond instead of just react. So, for example, I'm playing and I get pulled out by coach and they say something and I'm like, wait, what? Instead of giving that exact response, so wait, what? And rolling your eyes, giving a look, you need to learn to respond and just, got it, coach. And you move on. And then you can think about it. You can respond to the situation. Maybe there's some truth in it. Maybe it was completely wrong. But you aren't just going to react to the situation. You're like, what the heck? Like, oh, stupid, blah, 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 blah. And lose your head. And then lose, like, your foot in that game. And it's also the same when you're on the court. If you're on the court and you mess up, and this is a preached on lesson, right? Like, just get back, next play, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I keep doing blah, blah, blah because I feel like this is a lesson that is preached and preached and preached and kind of nagged on a bit. But it's really simple. It's very crucial if we respond to it, like, correctly. If we take the wisdom of this and work on it correctly, because it's a buzzword, it's a buzz topic, but that's because it needs to be addressed. But it can be addressed very simply, and usually just has to come from the right person. But anyways, if you're on the court, you mess up, and you just react to it instantaneously, you're probably gonna drop your head, start, letting up, you're gonna get mad and do something stupid, you're gonna start playing outside yourself, right? And that's when you need to learn to respond instead of just react to situations. So no, it's not super complicated. It's super simple. That's in life. We need to learn to respond to things instead of just react emotionally off the bat. But this is something you teach yourself, and this is something that people hold you accountable to, and this is something that you have to learn how to do. It doesn't just come naturally. But a good thing to think, and this is for like the AU athletes out there, but this can be also for like, it doesn't have to just be AU basketball. If you were outside of yourself watching you, would you kind of cringe at the way that you respond to some things? Like the way that you react to some things? Like if, say, your parents are filming or you're watching back film and you see something, you're like, oh, that was bad. That's a sign that you should probably change it, right? But you can look at that from a third person point of view, every situation. And this is something you can think during games and stuff. It's just a quick thought of, if I was watching myself right now, like, would I roll with that? Would I think that's cool? Or would I be like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Like, just get back on defense, or don't respond like that. Like, just take it on the chin, like, move on, Would you be proud of yourself the way that you responded? Would you watch someone else do what you just did and be like, oh, that was bad? And if that's the case, then you know that you need to correct whatever your action was and respond better. So that's on learning to respond instead of just react to situations. Look at yourself from that third person point of view, be like, would that fly? Would I look at that and be like, oh gosh, like, that's terrible? You do the same thing with film. When it comes to watching a game, if you do something really, really bad, you're like, oh, I'm not going to do that again. That was bad. You learn from it, right? It has to be the same with your response to situations. So, that buzzword body language, or, body language is probably the biggest buzzword. There's a lot of truth to it. What is your body language? What is your body language? It doesn't have to be like everybody else's, or doesn't have to be like so-and-so's. You can have your own type of, swagger and confidence and body language. Just make sure that it's not displaying defeat, and it's not displaying, well, like, I don't want to be here, blah, blah, blah. That might not be how you're really feeling, and it is also on the coach to learn you and your demeanor. But, just very real, honest talk. Most coaches are not going to take the time to learn you and your demeanor. So that is maturing in the game, and as you move up levels, that's maturing and understanding people. But learn how to carry yourself in a way that is confident, in a way that is not arrogant, but in a way that shows I'm going to get this job done. And if you are just reacting to situations when they don't go well, you hang your head and you just, oh, whatever. It's not going to give people confidence to play you. It's not going to give your teammates confidence to play with you, and it's not going to give yourself confidence to go out and execute. So that's on learning to respond instead of just reacting to situations. A third person point of view, and being not super self-critical, but being able to self-reflect and be like, okay, well, did I give off this energy today? And if that's the case, address it and fix it. And if you can start holding yourself, I will say this right now, if you can start holding yourself accountable to this now at whatever age you are, it will pay off absolute dividends instead of having to hear from a coach online or hear from a parent on the line, or learn it the hard way because maybe someone stripped your playing time because of it, or maybe you have a coach that you rubbed the wrong way because of it. Like, you never know. I'm not saying it's a fix-all, but you will avoid a lot of bumps in the road if you learn this lesson now, that people read that and they take signs and hints and cues from it, even if that's not your intention. So you might as well teach your body to respond and your mind to respond to every situation in a way that is confident, in a way that's not arrogant, in a way that is, okay, I'm here to get this job done. And if you can learn that lesson now, it'll pay you dividends. But that kind of trails into my next point of learning how to put the emotion aside and just execute. Now, this is different than just learning how to respond instead of react. This is really taking the next step into action. So, when it comes to execution or executing, on the court, not some other way, but when it comes to executing on the court, that just means doing your job, doing what's been asked of you, and doing what you know you're capable of doing. And you're not going to be able to do it if you're mad, you're sad, you're, super just aloof and out of the zone or whatever. You're not going to be able to fully execute on the task at hand if you are not focused on it. And our emotions will drive us away from that all the time. Maybe there's a game where, before I go on with this, I do want to say your emotions can be very, very, very critical and can really help you. And they can drive performance, They can boost you, they can give you stamina, they can make you dig deeper, they can make you hit that next level. But you have to learn how to harness that. You can't just always, be in this mode of, I'm going to run everyone over, blah, 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 without learning yourself and understanding, well, am I taking this energy and am I taking this emotion right now of being really fired up and executing properly? Because if you're going out there and taking crazy shots, doing crazy moves, and dribbling off your foot, throwing over your teammate's head because you're amped up, fouling left and right, it doesn't matter, right? So learning how to leverage your emotions is a different topic. That's a deeper dive into something that, very few people have figured out how to leverage their emotions because it gets the best of a lot of people. But anyways, I'm just talking now on how to put the emotion aside and just do your dang job and do what needs to be done. Now, this goes for training, this goes for practices, this goes for work, for games, this goes across the board. School, whatever. Sometimes you just gotta put how you feel to the side and just do the job, right? So I'm gonna take training, for example. Say you're going to workouts and I hear it all the time right now from athletes. I already had practice and I had volleyball and I had a workout this morning 8 a.m. This is my third, fourth workout of the day, and I hear all of these different things and very true. You're gonna feel down and tired. And that's your commitment as an athlete, is you're gonna have a million things on your plate, which I don't think it should necessarily always be a million things, but it's a different topic. But anyways, you're walking into training and your mind is telling you, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I'm tired. I already had this, and this. So you have two choices. You can walk into that training and just kind of go through the motions, so whatever, right? Get nothing out of it, contribute nothing, walk away from it probably oh, that wasn't too good. Or you can put your emotion and learn this lesson and learn the ability to put the emotion to the side of, I'm tired, or I don't really want to be here, I'd rather be doing this, and just execute. Execution over emotion. That is something you should write on a notebook or put it on your phone or whatever it is. That is something you should look at and live by, in a sense. Not all the time. That's not healthy, but it's something to live by. Because if you go into the gym and every single time you're tired or you don't really want to be there, or you're not really feeling it, or your body's beat up, and you let that override the plans that you've made or the things that you said you're gonna do, you're gonna get nowhere, right? It's a simple equation. But we don't think about it a lot of times that way, that we're our own worst enemies and we're the ones that are feeding the emotions that aren't allowing us to do the job that needs to be done. So, it's summertime, so when it comes to that conditioning workout, put to the side the fact that you don't want to do it and just do it, right? When it comes to, all your friends are going out and you have to go to this tournament. Don't sit and sulk at that tournament. Put those emotions to the side and execute and do what you're here to do. And that's a very black and white way to look at it, right? But that ties directly into when it comes to basketball, you have to learn how to respond instead of just react. So then you can put your emotions aside and you can execute. And so that's the whole circle of life or whatever type thing of handling your emotions and doing your job is learn how to respond so that you can execute on what you need to do. Because overall, like learning to respond is learning how to handle your emotions. Being able to handle your emotions allows you to do what you need to do consistently without being this up and down kind of roller coaster that you can't depend on and your teammates can't depend on and your coaches can't depend on you. So that is the overall scheme of today's episode. Now, that's pretty black and white. I'm not saying all the time to just forget how you feel and just do it, right? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying all the time that you don't have a right to be like, wait, what the heck? That wasn't cool. The whole emphasis of this is about 95% of the time, we let our emotions get in the way and we overreact and we don't respond correctly and, we skip that workout or we do something we know we shouldn't have done because you just, didn't feel like it or you're mad or sad and you don't know how to just do what you said you're going to do. So that's a very cut and dry version of it. We can dig into, why I feel this way, or, maybe it is time to let off the gas, or maybe my plan is not great and that's why I'm not able to execute. And, maybe coach really is being this type of way, or maybe my teammates really are making me, not able to respond correctly on the court. Like you can dig into that layer by layer. But this is black and white. This is simple. This is, I'm going to do the job. That's what I'm going to do no matter what. And I'm going to choose my response to these situations instead of letting outside factors determine it. Because for the kids that are playing AU right now, if you keep that mentality of that coach of your dream school sitting on the sideline and they're watching your every move, how are you going to respond? Right? You should respond that way every single game to your coaches, to your teammates, like everything, nothing should change. Like whether they're there or not, that should be the standard that you hold, right? And that's something you have to teach yourself. If you start teaching yourself in junior high, and then you start teaching yourself in high school, and then you have that skill when you get to college, you will beat a learning curve that so many kids have to learn when they go to college, because the coaching is different everywhere you go. But for the most time, coaches don't want to sit there and teach you how to respond to a mistake. They aren't going to sit there and teach you how to do this or that and how to handle your emotions and all these things. Or you shouldn't bank on them doing that. So teach yourself now, teach yourself early, and it'll be a skill that you're able to utilize on and off the basketball court. But let me check our time. Yeah, we're running about 18 minutes. That's the goal. I don't want to talk your guys' ear off. And it's supposed to be simple. But write those things down. Write it down. Respond. Don't react. And write down execute over emotion. And those two things, come summertime, come school year, and will take you a long ways. But as always, appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to this episode. And let us know, as you guys always do, but let us know in the comments, like our DMs. We get some DMs, and let us know on Facebook and message us if there's topics that you want us to discuss and different things that you want to hear about. And my last announcement is we are planning a WRM Movement Camp. So if you made it this far in the episode, you'll hear about this. If not, you'll see it on social media anyways. But we're planning a WRM Movement Camp for this end of June, first day of July, and be open for grades 5th through 8th, 8th through 12th. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be, a little bit different than your normal skills camp. It's 2 days, but first day will be lots of skills training. We'll dive deep into all the concepts and some different training. But day 2 is what will be really cool is we're bringing in high school athletes for the younger kids, and we're bringing in college athletes for the high school kids. And we'll do a Q&A for the high school kids to the little kids. We'll do a Q&A for the college kids to high school kids, and we'll also be giving out resources of educating those high school kids on, how to maximize their schedule, how to recover properly, how to understand all the divisions of the schools, conference, regions, different levels of play, things that, we wish we would have known in high school, but didn't necessarily learn until we were in the game, like at the college level. And then for those high school kids, they'll be educating the younger ones on, this is what high school is like. I go to school at this school, and this is what it's like, and this is what my schedule looks like. And so just different things on different topics that we would have wanted to know when we were that age, and that we can now provide to the high school kids that are aspiring to be college players. So again, appreciate you guys tuning in, and hope you guys got something from this episode. That's the goal. It's not to ramble your ear off. It's to provide some value. So appreciate you guys as always, and we'll see you next time.